plant is on his property. It's private.
It's a milking station.
What he produces there is produced for private contractual relationships between consenting adults, people who have deliberately, thoughtfully, intentionally made a point to seek out products that are healthy for their families. That's the kind of food that he's producing, and that's what is currently, if we continue on this trajectory, it will be against the law to produce.
No, this is outright, complete communist takeover of America's farms. That's what it is. It's total communism. It's in America. America has been taken over by the banksters. America is being led by someone who isn't even qualified to be president. America has been occupied. We are occupied, and the communist takeover of the farms has begun. It's happening in California. It's happened in Michigan. With the Julie Bass issue, the front yard gardening, the pigs, the feral pigs issue with Mark Baker at Baker's Green Acres. It's happening now in Minnesota. It's happened in Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, all over the country. Farms are under attack. It's outrageous. But I want to there is a rally Monday morning at the Minneapolis courthouse in defense of this farmer. Please, Mel, tell us about that rally so we can get some patriots out there to help support this farmer.
Okay, the farmer who's on trial in Minnesota on Monday morning at 9 a.m. In Hennepin County, his name is Alvin Schlangen, and he faces 4 counts of criminal misdemeanors, which each come with a possibility of fines and several, I think, up to 90 days in jail for each count if he's found guilty. And his charges are extremely similar to the ones faced by another farmer that I read to you just previously. We have a rally in support of him at 7 a.m. on Monday morning on the grounds of the Hennepin County Government Center. And this is a chance for Minnesota moms and others to join us and to take a stand and to say, we will not comply, we will not back down, and we will not be intimidated or be caused to fear that sourcing food for our families that we believe has integrity, is whole, is locally produced, lovingly raised. We will not back down from continuing to get those foods for our families.
It's the best,
no matter what regulatory oversight tries to say.
Absolutely. Good for you and good for the other moms who are standing up. I want to encourage viewers to visit the website that covers this, that has more details, rawmilkfreedomriders.wordpress.com. I believe that's it. See if you can bring that up, guys, there in the command console. rawmilkfreedomriders.wordpress.com. And I know that they are covering this event. This is a red alert call to all patriots, farmers, every American in Minnesota who wants to help defend the integrity of America's culture, the right to access real food. Be there Monday morning, 7 a.m. The rally begins on the steps of the Minneapolis courthouse there in the capital of Minnesota. Mel, what else is happening at that rally? Do you know exactly what the plan is? Are they unveiling a declaration of food independence or something like that?
That's right. There'll be a declaration of food independence, and it will be revealed, read aloud, and attendees in Minnesota and anyone else who would like to join us and would like to sign will be welcome and invited to put their signature on the Declaration of Food Independence, stating that we will be taking back the right to foods of our choice.
Absolutely. Well said. Very well said, Mel. Now, what do you how are you going to challenge this letter? Have you replied to the Michigan government, the communist tyrants who are threatening you? Have you replied to their letter yet, or do you plan to? What actions are you taking to protect your family against their threats?
Well, it's funny you should ask. In the immediate future, of course, we have the rally, and we have a really exciting workshop. I think one of the strengths that we have here in Minnesota and around the nation is solidarity. And one of the ways that we'll be showing solidarity is the rally, and we're also building unity in a workshop. And I'm really excited about that because it equips us, it inspires us, it will give us tools to use as we stand up for our rights. And what I'm doing on a personal level, it's funny, Mike, but I find myself, like today especially, wandering around, making sure all my doors are locked, making sure my back door is secure. And I find my eyes roving up and down the street, wondering who's driving by. I have happened to see, local police force driving up and down my road, I would say a little more frequently than usual.
Yeah, well, it's because you have the right intuition. You have mother's intuition that the government is the criminal element. You know that they're the danger to you, your family, your freedoms. You are right to do that. Lock your doors. The government might be out there. They're worse than the criminals. They are the criminals. They're taking away your rights, taking away your food, threatening you with ridiculous letters, destroying America's farms. They have become the criminal communist element that's trying to take over America today. They've got to be stopped, and this rally could be part of it. So I'm glad you're on board with this. Thank you for being here, Mel, for being on the air.
Well, you know what? It's absolutely my honor to be able to stand up and advocate for the freedom to choose foods of our choice and to advocate for these farmers. There's persecution going on here in the United States, and I don't know how aware the public is that we have a group of people who are being vilified, who are being criminalized and marginalized, intimidated, and forced out of business. And these are the people who have been the backbone of our country and what our freedom was founded on. I have so much respect and so much honor for these men and these women who day after day continue to produce these amazing, nutrient-dense, wonderful foods.
Yes. And
they do it, and farming is not easy anyway. And they do it in the face of this daily persecution and the threat of intimidation, harassment, and criminalization of their efforts.
Absolutely. And I want to send a prayer out right now to a man who I know is listening, James Stewart, in California today. He continues to face persecution in California, as well as Sharon Palmer there. That's the Rawsome food case. I can tell you that there will be breaking news about the Rawsome case next week. I don't want to get into the details. It will be shared on InfoWars. I'll get the information over to Kurt and Paul Watson and Alex Jones. There will be breaking information coming out to help those individuals. We are being persecuted. You're exactly right, Melinda. And this morning I milked goats before I came in. I bought goats. I am now, I guess I have a raw dairy operation on my own farm now. I guess they could come in and arrest me for having a dairy plant without a license, because I milked a goat.
Right. Did you know in Wisconsin, if you produce milk, it's my understanding that the current climate there is that if you produce milk and it's raw, you are not allowed to bring it to a private, like let's say you have a farm in the country or the rural area, and then you have a private property in town. It's against the law for you to bring milk that you've produced yourself on your own property and drink it on your own property if you're inside city lines.
Unbelievable.
And it's raw.
Wow. So now you're going to be arrested and imprisoned for food smuggling, your own food.
You're right. I've heard the word fascist applied to these kinds of circumstances. And it really is amazing. I wonder someday if I will end up laughing about this right now. It's so serious I can't, but we're talking about milk.
Yeah. Well, no, you're right. Fascism is the right word. It even reminds me of Naomi Wolf, who warned about the 10 steps to fascism. And she's been a very, very popular speaker about those issues from the left side of the false political paradigm. But she was right as well. And this takeover of America's farms, this is one of the 10 signs, essentially, of the rise of fascism. The corporate-controlled, oppressive police state government running theater security events all over the country to scare everybody into submission. Geraldo Rivera just went on the record, said he was raped by the TSA. I don't know if that's the right exact word for it. I don't know exactly what went on in his pants there, but maybe it's not a rape. Maybe it's a sexual assault, but those are his words. This is all coming out now about how oppressive and brutal and completely illegal the government has become.
That's right, and it's up to us. It's up to us to set the standard, to say no, and to take a stand for what we know to be our rights and our personal freedoms and our personal liberties. The time is now. Once it's gone, it's a lot harder to get back.
The time is now, absolutely, Mel. Once again, a call for everybody in Minnesota to join this rally Monday morning. That's May 14th, I believe. Yeah, May 14th, 7 a.m. at the steps of the Minneapolis, Minnesota Capitol Courthouse building. There it is. It's on screen for Prisonplanet.tv viewers. Mel, what other sources of information do people need to tune into? Can you give us some websites or blogs where people can stay informed, or have I already given those out?
You've cited the ones that will be most current and most up-to-date and provide the most thorough information. Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, great. Any final thoughts that you would like to add, Mel, about your experience or your advice to other moms who may be involved in raw milk for their babies and they're afraid of being threatened?
Well, First of all, I would say get rid of the fear, throw it out the window, because what you are doing is absolutely right. It is righteous, and it is sound, and you have right on your side. So don't fear, and don't back down.
Well said, Melinda Olson. Thank you for being on the show today, Mel.
Thank you very much.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back. A lot more straight ahead. Alex Jones Show, yeah. What an incredible show we've had today. It's not even over yet. And if you think about it, I've got all these stacks of news on Alex's desk here. We've only been able to scratch the surface. We've covered maybe 10% of all the news that we could have talked about today. There's so much more out there. Some breaking issues that I've just got to touch on here. Number one, you know, Laura Presley is running for city council here in Austin. She is the pro-Ron Paul candidate. She's the anti-fluoride candidate. She's been a guest on the show. For those of you listening in the Austin area, please get out there and vote. Get out the vote. We've got to get good people into office, people who represent the people instead of the corporate sellouts. You know, this city gave a multi-million-dollar tax bailout to Apple Corporation, Apple Inc. Like Apple needs money. One of the wealthiest companies in the world. So they took money out of the taxpayers from Austin. They just gave it to Apple. That's insane. I could talk a lot more about that. Here's another thing. Cop kicks pregnant woman in the stomach. This is in Georgia. An incident occurred. This is Steve Watson has this article on Infowars.com. When Officer Jared Wheeler was called to the pregnant woman's home, and he eventually kicked her. Oh, man, he kicked her right in the pregnant stomach area, and she could not believe that a police officer would kick her right in the baby. Oh, man. He claims he didn't know she was pregnant, but 9 months pregnant, how could you not know? Right, how could you not know? Another thing is I'm going to be hosting InfoWars Nightly News tonight, so we got some big issues there that we didn't even get time for today. Finally, another issue is GlaxoSmithKline fined over vaccine trials after 14 babies are dead. This is in the Buenos Aires Herald, as we say in English, BuenosAiresHerald.com. GSK fined over vaccine trials after 14 babies dead. Killing a few more babies, that's just the history of medicine. What's unusual about that? More vaccine trials, more evil adjuvants that destroy your brain and lobotomize you. And then, yeah, there it is. They've got it up on screen. Also, I saved a few minutes here because I want to offer some personal commentary about the Second Amendment. And I haven't spoken out enough on the Second Amendment in the past. And I want to be on the record with my absolute support for not just the Second Amendment, but of course the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. All of these are very important, but none of them would be possible without the Second Amendment. I am a firearms owner. I have been licensed to concealed carry since 1996. I've taken training all over the country for firearms. I'm competent, and I abide by all the firearms laws and regulations that do exist, so I don't have any illegal firearms, if there is such a thing. I guess there is under current law, but I do abide by all the rules, and I own firearms legally. And I want to give out a message to those who maybe aren't into firearms, the rights yet. You have no idea how many people are concealed carrying out there and thereby keeping you safe. When you go out to the Walmart or the grocery store or the gas station, there are people all around you with concealed carry firearms. People like me and others like me who are law-abiding citizens. Many are former active duty military. Many are active or off-duty police officers. Many are just intelligent, informed, patriotic supporters of America who are into protecting innocent people. And we carry firearms, and by doing so, we help keep everybody safe. We're not trying to be cops. We're just citizens who are informed and who understand the Second Amendment and who support it. I am a very strong supporter of the Second Amendment, and that's what's going to keep our country safe. So keep it legal, man. That's crucial. Thank you for everything today, for joining us. I always enjoy hosting. And watch InfoWars Nightly News again tonight. The rebroadcast of this show begins now. Thank you all.